Hello, welcome back to Chapter 5, Financial Statement Forecasting. The percentage of sales method. This simplest technique for forecasting the income statement and balance sheet is the percent of sales method. The basic idea is that many items on this statement tend to rise and fall at approximately the same rate as sales. If sales are expected to increase by 10%, then it probably makes sense to guess that cost of goods sold will also rise by 10%. And the same logic applies to many others, but not all items. The most important input is the sales forecast, as this drives the forecast for other items. There are many methods for forecasting sales, and we will discuss some basic time series forecasting method in Chapter 6. Other forecasting methods. Regression analysis. Regression analysis is a method for finding the best fitting line for a dataset. The trend function implements regression analysis, but there is also a regression tool available from Data tab, Data Analysis, that predicts much more information. In particular, the regression tool gives us the values of the coefficients and also diagnostic information, for example, t-statistics, that we can use to determine if the model is statistically significant or not. The image at the right shows the regression diagnose box. More information can be found on page 167. You can also get the coefficient value more directly by using the slope and intercept function. This is an example of the output of the regression tools. Chapter 6, Forecasting Sales with Time Series Methods. What is a time series? A time series is a sequence of observations of a variable ordered by time period. Examples of economic time series abound and include such things as quarterly gross domestic product, GDP, for a country, the monthly consumer price index, CPI, monthly house starts, and so on. Our focus in this chapter is on a company's revenue over time, though the techniques can be applied to any time series. The particular example that we will use is Amazon.com quarterly revenue from 2011 through 2018 as pictured below. Time series decompositions. A time series can be broken down or decomposed into its parts. Trend components, the long-term behavior of the data, Amazon's sales showing a rising trend. Seasonality component, regular periodical fluctuations in the data that are related to some event or time series during the year. Amazon's revenue should a peak every year in the fourth quarter. Cyclical component, fluctuations that have a periodically of more than a year and vary in length from one cycle to text. We don't have enough data to identify cyclical behavior in Amazon's sales. Irregular component, the part of the time series that cannot be explained by any of the above components and is assumed to be random. Each of these can be forecast separately and then recombined to get our forecast for the whole time series. Time series forecasting using regression analysis. In Chapter 5, we saw how to use Excel's regression function and the regression tool in the analysis toolpack. We can use the regression to forecast the time series with a time trend and also with seasonality. To deal with the seasonality, we will make use of dummy variables to represent the quarter of the year. Because we have 4 quarters in a year, we will need 3 dummy variables. When all 3 dummy variables equal 0, that represents the 4th quarter.